Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something incredibly familiar, maybe too familiar, the Lord's Prayer.
Right. Everyone knows the words.
Exactly. But we think Jesus wasn't just giving us something to recite. It feels more like a way to rewire how we approach God entirely.
Hmm.
So this deep dive, it's less about the words themselves and more about the how. The deep principles Jesus taught for a truly sincere connection.
And we're drawing specifically from Matthew and Luke's accounts here.
Yeah, Matthew 6 and Luke 11.
And what's fascinating is they really lay out a blueprint. It's not just words. It's a pattern for a genuine devotional life. Jesus gives us these 5 key shifts.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The prayer starts, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Where does that immediately take us? What's the big idea right at the start?
Well, the really significant thing is before we ask for anything for ourselves, Jesus just completely shifts our focus.
Right, away from us.
Totally. It's not a shopping list. It's this profound affirmation of God's holiness, God's supremacy. It challenges our default setting, our ego.
Demands humility right out of the gate. Reverence before request.
Exactly. It's a huge perspective shift.
And it keeps going that way, doesn't it? Aligning us with something bigger. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
That's a massive request, almost a surrender, like you said.
Before we even mention our own stuff.
Precisely. It's a prayer for, global transformation, really, asking us to sync our own desires with God's ultimate purpose.
It broadens the view beyond just me.
Yeah, it encourages us to see the bigger picture, to be agents of that divine will right here. A call to spiritual teamwork almost.
And only then, after all that, do we finally get to personal needs. Give us today our daily bread.
And notice the wording, daily bread.
Yeah, it feels surprisingly humble. It focuses on just enough, right? Sufficiency, not like hitting the jackpot.
It really grounds us right here, right now, trusting God for today. It's a radical call, actually, to live without that constant anxiety about the future.
Teaches contentment, dependence.
A deep dependence on a loving provider, yeah. It suggests our basic needs are met when we focus first on what truly matters.
Okay, now here's where, for me at least, it gets really interesting and maybe a bit uncomfortable. And forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors.
Ah, yes.
That doesn't sound like just a simple request. It feels conditional, like a really high bar.
It is a high bar, no question, and it's absolutely foundational to what Jesus is teaching here.
He links them. Our forgiveness received and our forgiveness given.
Directly. It's almost like a spiritual transaction, you could say, but the emphasis is internal, on our seat of compassion, our willingness to let go.
It forces us to look at our own grudges, doesn't it?
It does, knowing that holding on to them directly impacts our connection with God. It's honestly one of the prayer's most radical demands.
Wow. Okay, and then it wraps up with protection. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one.
After that intense focus on forgiveness, this feels like an acknowledgement of, our vulnerability.
That we need help navigating things.
Exactly. It's recognizing we need that divine guidance, that strength. It's not asking God not to allow tests, maybe, but to equip us.
Equip us to handle them.
Yeah, with wisdom, with strength to resist, to make the right choices. A prayer for discernment, really. Spiritual resilience.
So beyond just the words, the structure, Jesus also gave these core principles for how to pray. You mentioned authenticity first.
Yes, absolutely. Authenticity. Jesus is so clear, warning against hypocritical displays for others to see.
The public piety thing.
Right. He says, go in your room, close the door, pray to God who sees in secret. Which is pretty countercultural, isn't it?
Yeah, we often feel pressure to perform, even spiritually.
But Jesus says, no, strip that away. Just be real. Just you and God. Inner truth over outward appearance.
Makes you think. How often do we pray with that me first or look at me attitude?
And he's calling for a total reorientation. And second, simplicity.
Yes, less is more.
Pretty much. Don't use a lot of fancy words or empty phrases to impress God. Why? He knows what you need before you ask.
It's almost funny thinking about overly elaborate prayers.
God's not impressed by vocabulary. He's looking at the heart, the sincerity.
So genuine heartfelt repetition might be okay, but not just empty babbling.
Exactly. It's the intent. Are you connecting or are you performing? Empty phrases are about sounding good or trying to manipulate. Sincere repetition, like a mantra, could deepen focus. It's the why behind it.
Okay, what else?
Well, third and fourth often go together. Persistence and faith.
The friend asking for bread at midnight story comes to mind.
That's the one. Jesus urges us, be persistent, keep asking, keep seeking. And crucially, link that persistence with faith. Believe God hears and will answer.
Some people find that persistence idea a bit tricky, though, like we're trying to wear God down.
Yeah, I get that. But the sources suggest it's less about changing God's mind and more about changing us.
How so?
Well, persistence builds our own trust. It shows the depth of our desire, maybe refines our motives, teaches us patience, dependence on divine timing,
Yeah.
while building that solid faith that we are heard.
Okay, that reframes it. Not nagging, but developing trust.
Exactly. And then there's that fifth principle, which we already touched on, but it's huge.
Forgiveness again.
That demanding prerequisite, yes. Jesus couldn't be clearer. Your willingness to forgive others. It's a direct condition for receiving God's forgiveness.
Not just a nice suggestion.
Not at all. Essential. A prerequisite for spiritual health, for that connection.
So, wrapping this all up,
Yeah.
What's the big takeaway for us? This deep dive shows the Lord's Prayer is so much more than just words we know.
Right. It's a blueprint. Revolutionary, really.
For a deep personal connection rooted in, authenticity, simplicity, that persistent faith.
And crucially, that mutual forgiveness.
That challenging, but maybe liberating act of forgiveness.
And if you think about the bigger picture, that emphasis on forgiving as a condition, it suggests something pretty radical.
Which is?
That our internal state, our ability to be compassionate, to release resentment, it isn't just good for us spiritually, it's foundational.
Foundational to receiving forgiveness.
And maybe to everything else too. Our own peace, our daily interactions. It really makes you consider, doesn't it? How profoundly our own willingness to forgive, to truly let go, might shape not just our spiritual path, but our everyday peace of mind.